So even in your house, there was kind of different political tribes and it was all up for grabs. Do you ever remember finding it uncomfortable to talk about ideas, or did it always feel like just a part of your home life?
I was really fortunate that way, given that, if you say sort of on paper, when I was applying for university, I would absolutely, and I think rightly, have qualified as coming from an underserved area. I didn't have parents with massive formal education. They had made their way, but they were thoughtful, intelligent people, and that always has guided my view of how politics, policy, and education policy should approach people. It's not always, is it, Elizabeth, as simple as it looks when you see the sort of socio-economics. People can be in one group, or we lived really simply in, a village which was in a wild and beautiful place since the mines had closed, but it was also very stressed. I mean, in the rather awful language of the time, the villages around it were being sort of described as Category D villages, where no investment in infrastructure were disappearing. Housing was very cheap.
Yeah.
But it was hard to find. I mean, people who were interested in ideas found each other.
Yeah.
And that I've also often thought is a clue to communities as well. That some of the most interesting conversations and, in a way, informed thinking and got me ready for dialogue in journalism and in politics later and from university was, I felt I heard huge arguments about the miners' strike, for instance, growing up, and not just the which side are you on, but people like my mother who were on kind of both sides at once. She she wanted to sort of help miners' welfare, but she really loathed Arthur Scargill. She loathed the strike and she didn't think it should be happening. Yeah. So that sense that people can be, which I think we sometimes lose, and we know in the public debate how easy it is to lose it, that they're not just this one tone, one note thing. And sometimes politics behaves as if they are, hence the Across the Red Line show that I do on Radio 4. But we did argue about pretty much everything. And I think I've once, maybe, you've read it, told the story in a column when I was thinking about how to make Across the Red Line resonate for people who have different views, or their past informs their views, but are they aware of it? Do they want to be aware of it? But we had this massive row, and my friend, Andrea, was staying after school on, it was Thursday night. We always watch Question Time together. And then we'd continue Question Time in kind of our little living room to about midnight. And she said to me when we went upstairs, when you had your friend to stay in those days, you always shared the bedroom, didn't you? And you sort of lay there on your mattresses and died by then. She said, I'm really sorry your parents had that big row. And I went, no, that's just like what we do on a Thursday. And it was really interesting to me that she didn't, obviously she just came from a place where that would have been seen as strife.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed it.